The conference room smelled of polish and panic. Light from the floor-to-ceiling windows cut hard angles across the table, slicing through the silence. "Your bonus has been deleted," Victor said. His voice was steady, almost rehearsed. I looked at the red signature on the digital screen, his signature. One swift stroke, arrogant and final. The room waited for me to break. I nodded. Perfect timing. A few managers shifted, uncomfortable. Victor smirked, mistaking composure for defeat. He had no idea what that signature had already erased. Not my bonus, his. Inside, a quiet tremor ran through me. Not fear, anticipation. Because while he celebrated his little humiliation, a much larger one was already bleeding through the company's servers. His pen had cut deeper than he could imagine. Victor had been circling me for months. Small cuts, public jabs in meetings, bonuses delayed, projects reassigned. He called it restructuring. I called it slow execution. But what gnawed deeper wasn't corporate politics, it was the rumor. A late-night call from a junior accountant, a misplaced invoice, payments routed to a private account in Singapore, Victor's name buried in the metadata. At first, I dismissed it. Envy breeds fiction. But then came the expense report, a dinner billed as client entertainment. I knew the restaurant. I knew the date. It was the night my wife claimed to be at a yoga retreat. A single receipt, folded into the company archives like a confession. I didn't confront her, or him. I simply sat with the knowledge until it hardened into strategy. I began collecting, quietly. Server backups, encrypted emails, deleted chats resurrected from forgotten drives. Each night, while Victor toasted shareholders and my wife texted late, I built a lattice of proof. Licensing agreements, regulatory filings, a single contract worth $2.1 billion, one he had signed in haste, thinking it locked in our biggest client for the next decade. He never noticed the clause I slipped in during the final draft. A clause that voided the license if his signature appeared on any document revoking executive bonuses without board approval. A safeguard disguised as legal dust. When he slashed my bonus, his red flourish triggered the kill switch. The license dissolved the instant the ink dried. I watched the servers process the cancellation while he bragged in the meeting. A quiet keystroke from my office confirmed the deletion. By midnight, I had printed everything: contracts, transfers, hotel receipts, sealed inside a matte black envelope. Evidence sharp enough to cut without a sound. The next morning, my phone buzzed before sunrise. Victor's name, 3 missed calls. I arrived at the office to chaos, assistants whispering, legal scrambling. The $2.1 billion client had terminated overnight. Victor stormed into my office, sweat slick on his temples. "What did you do?" I slid the black envelope across the desk. "Open it." He ripped it apart. Contracts, wire transfers, photos of him and my wife outside the restaurant, her hand tucked into his coat. His face drained to the color of old paper. This is... I tilted my head. "Your signature did it, not me." Silence. Only the hum of the server racks behind the wall. He reached for anger but found nothing to hold. "Whatever you think this proves, it proves ownership," I said quietly, "of the contract, of the evidence, of the narrative." I watched realization settle like a slow poison. The client was already in talks with a competitor. The board would discover his financial leaks before lunch. My wife's betrayal was a footnote, but one he would carry like shrapnel. "You can try to bury it," I continued, "but every copy has already been scheduled for release if anything happens to me. Emails, news outlets, regulatory boards. A simple timed upload." He sagged against the desk, eyes flicking to the papers as if they might rearrange themselves into salvation. They didn't. I stood, straightened my jacket. "You deleted my bonus. I deleted your future." fair exchange. I left him there, drowning in fluorescent light and the quiet terror of irreversible mistakes. Outside, the city was waking, steel and glass catching the first light, indifferent to human ruin. My phone vibrated. My wife. I silenced it. Some losses are self-inflicted. I walked to the street, the morning air sharp and clean. No triumph, no grief, only clarity. Victor would spend the day clawing at a wound he signed himself. My wife would wonder why her calls went unanswered. I would simply disappear, leaving them to each other and the wreckage they created. Power isn't noise. It's the quiet exit after the final move. I turned the corner, the black envelope left behind like a tombstone. And for the first time in months, I felt nothing at all.